All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and in the previous set of videos, I was going over articles from https://javascript.info/array. Now I'm going to go over some information from the same site, but instead of going over array stuff, I'm going to go over string stuff. All right, so it's https://javascript.info/string. First thing to remember about strings, as they mention here with quotes, is the fact that any string in JavaScript can be put in either single quotes or double quotes. But if you start with a single quote, you must end with a single quote. If you start with a double quote, you must end with a double quote. All right? Now, couple of other things, just so you're aware of this. And that is, in most programming languages, strings are always put in double quotes. All right? Not an ironclad rule, but that's normally the way it is. So that's first. Second, in most programming languages, just a single character is put in single quotes. So, if you want to not buck the norm, so to speak, I would just put all my strings in double quotes when possible, and and just do it like that. You can also use backticks, which, as they mention, allow you to embed an expression inside of a string, including function calls. Now, they have an example here, and it's kind of a weird example. All right. This says return a plus b, and we're passing it 1 and 2. So this should allow us to say 1 plus 2 equals, and then we actually make the call here. So this should say 1 plus 2 equal 3 if we did it correctly. I've come back into here. I've now updated my comments section, and I've got all of the examples that I used for what we talked about earlier. Can I do this? All right, so let's paste that in. So again, if this works, this should say when we get done 1 plus 2 equal 3. Let's check it out. And there you got it. Now that was a start, but that's not very exciting, and there's not a lot in there. Backticks also allow you to go among multiple lines. So if you need to hit with a regular string, in double quotes or single quotes, you cannot put something over multiple lines. But if you use backticks, you can. So let's see. Again, hopefully you're getting something out of this. I realize I'm just doing a lot of presenting what's already there. In other words, I'm not creating a lot of really any new content for these examples myself. Okay, there's our list. Got the characters at the front. I'm not sure. I guess that's the asterisk that's in there. Okay, but again, backticks allow you to put stuff, if wanted or needed, over multiple lines. Let me hit enter a few times here and open up some room. Okay. If we try to do that with double quotes or single quotes and put it over 2 lines, let's do it both ways just so you see it. Okay, this is illegal, so we should get an error message. So in other words, when we run this, we shouldn't get any output. But if we right mouse click, choose inspect, and go to console, we get invalid or unexpected token because the system doesn't know what it is we're trying to do. And that'll happen whether we put it in like this or we put it in single quotes. All right. We should get the same error message when we run this. And you can see invalid or unexpected token. Same exact thing. All right, one last thing, and this is not in the handout or the article, but let's see what happens. First of all, let's do this. Let's make it work. Okay, so that should work just fine. If we alert guest list, okay, so if we do that and we alert guest list, they should come out and say guess, John, etc. Let's make sure that works. There it is. No problem. But as I mentioned before, you should never, for example, start with a double quote and end with a single quote. So you can't mix and match. Let's see what happens when we do that. So I'm just going to refresh. Notice I get no output. I go to the inspector and I go to console and I get a lot of errors. It says invalid or unexpected token, and the system just doesn't know how to handle it. And again, it's telling us it's on line 180. Lo and behold, there it is. So I'll go back and put that in a single quote. So now it should work. And it does. All right. I think we've kind of hit that enough. So it is possible to create multi-line strings with single quotes if you put a new line character, okay, on the end, such as a \n. So what we should have here is this should be on one line by itself, guess. Then this should be on the next line. Then this should be on the next line. And then this should be on the next line. So even though we're showing it here as one line, since we have the new line character in there, it's really going to put it in over 4 lines. And you see there's our results. Okay? The last one that they put in here, I believe, is another similar example. In fact, let's clean this up a little first. All right. So these two lines are the same, either saying hello world or doing it like this. And I'm going to show you yet a third way. Seem kind of silly, but just so you see it. Again, I'm trying to be complete here. Okay, so let's make sure these both put hello on one line and world on the next line. So let's make sure those work as advertised. Hello world on 2 lines, hello world on 2 lines. All right. Now, it would be silly and very superfluous almost, but we also could do this. All right. That would just put it on 2 lines, I believe. So let's check. Let's check all 3 ways of doing this and make sure that all 3 work. Whoops. That's why you don't run your JavaScript. There's the first way over 2 lines, the second way over 2 lines, the third way, but notice it's in 2 alert statements. All right? And you say, well, that really should have been on 1 line. Well, couldn't we have also done this? We could have said hello plus and then a \n world. So there are just a multiple number of ways of doing this. All right. So here are what are called our escape characters. I will tell you without a doubt, the ones that you will use probably 99% of the time are either new line or tab. So if you see this, just so you see it, let's take a look at the difference. You just saw that hello world, but what if I do another hello world, and instead of \n here, I put in a couple \t's. All right, those are 2 tab characters. So how does that look different? All right, it can't show the tabs inside, when you try to put those weird characters in an alert. But let's change that from an alert. Let's try to change that to a document.write. And actually write it to the screen and see if we get a different output then. All right. So, not the most exciting of examples, but again, I just, for completeness sake, wanted you to see that. All right. Continuing on here. Those are Unicode examples. So if you want to use different characters from the Unicode character set, and again, if you haven't heard me say this in other lectures, when computers first started, they all used the ASCII character code or character set, the American Standard Code for Information Interchange, but that only handled English characters. Now, with this being an international world, we need to handle characters from all over the world. Let's try these again. I'm trying to be, as mentioned, consistent here and complete. I don't think that should say symbol. I think that should say symbol. There's the copyright. There's the Chinese symbol. And there's the smiley face emoji. All right? Okay. Now, here's the issue of what if I want to put single quotes within single quotes? All right? And let's look at a couple different examples. Whoops. So the first example that they're going to show here, and we'll make 2 variations of this. So again, let me, as I've been doing here, paste that in, and it's got an alert that says, I am the walrus. Now we need the / before this, because if we didn't put the / in, the system's confused. It thinks that's the end right there. It thinks that's the end of what we're trying to do. So that's the end of the quote. Well, let's see what happens if we put it in like that. This should not run. We should get a runtime error. We do. We go to the inspector. We go to the console. Missing parenthesis. Because it's expecting here that we're done, so it thinks that none of this should be here. This should just be a parenthesis. But if we put in the / like that, I am the walrus. It works just fine. All right? The other thing, again, just showing you this for completeness. We could say here, he said, and then put double quote. And it's actually, I am the walrus, not I'm the walrus. With another, like that. That should work, and also say, I am the walrus. Cuckoo-ca-choo. And it doesn't like something. Invalid or unexpected token. So what did I do wrong there? You need to put the whole thing inside of double quotes. Now, why would you want to do that? I don't know. I really and truly have absolutely no idea why you'd want to do that. But that isn't the point. The point is you could do that if you wanted to. Still doesn't like it. Invalid or unexpected token. I'm still getting an error. Oh, because I've got 3 sets. Why is that one there? I don't know. Have we fixed it? Nope. Unexpected end of input. He said, I'm the walrus. Well, bottom line is this. You can see how easy it is to screw this up, as I'm doing right now. So, if you want to put double quotes, put them within single quotes. There you go. Let's try that. Oh my goodness. Unexpected end of input makes me think I've done something else later on in the page here. Like maybe removed my ending. There we go. Let's refresh and run it again. I'm the walrus. He said, I am the walrus, and notice it's in double quotes. So I should be able to go back, because that's where I'd screwed up. So I should be able to put here, put a double quote there. He said, all right, backslash, double quote, I am the walrus, backslash, double quote, with a double quote. Now that's what I had originally. Okay, that's what I had originally, but without the curly brace on the end. I think that's what was screwing this up. Refresh. He said, I am the walrus. Here we go. All right, we're up near 20 minutes, so I'm going to stop with part 1 of this and continue on with part 2 in just a couple minutes.